Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this Evolution review and opinions video. Now, we've had over 70 responses from you guys, so I want to get to your thoughts as quickly as possible. But I think we can just go down the match scores and you'll get a good idea as to what the community thought about this show. So, Becky versus Bayley versus Lyra, great. 84%. Jordynne versus Jacy, great, 51%. The tag match, the Fatal 4-Way tag match, great, 70%. Tiffany versus Trish, great, 56%. Naomi versus Jade, great, 65%. The Battle Royal, great, 76%. And Iyo versus Rhea, all time 61%. That puts it up there as being one of the best matches that the community has ever scored. So, yeah, incredible. I think the cash-in was incredible. I don't think this is a perfect show. I mean, for me, this isn't 10 out of 10. But I think score-wise, I'm at about an 8.5, 8.75. I mean, I am definitely in the 8s. I think that if I was to improve this show, I think I would have liked a bit of a surprise earlier in the show. I think having some sort of surprise for the Battle Royal, I think that would have been really good. I think kind of like opening the show with Steph was okay. I think the thing with Steph is that we bring her out actually quite a bit. You know, she kind of opened up one of the nights at WrestleMania not that long ago and did the welcome to WrestleMania. I mean, it's right that Stephanie was at this show, but I think we had an opportunity to like honor someone else. I kind of feel like Steph gets honored quite a bit, right? So I would have liked someone else really to have kind of come out at the start. I think, you know, that would have been a great place to have brought out Paige. If we'd have brought Paige back, you know, I mean, imagine that. That would have made the show, in my opinion, better. That would have been a surprise, would have been a shock, would have been a great way to have used Paige as well. Kind of, you know, not in ring or anything, but actually on that podium with Joe, kind of previewing the show, you know, and kind of checking back in with them. And I thought that would have been really good. So, you know, there's little things like that you can find that I think would have made this show a little bit better. But I don't think there's anything like massive. I don't think there's any big, huge changes. You know, I thought that even Jordynne versus Jacy, which was the lowest scoring match, that NXT match, I mean, that still had the Blake Monroe kind of turn in it. So even that had a little moment, you know. And actually, Jacy keeping that title was a little bit of a surprise as well. So I know there wasn't like loads of title changes and loads of shocks and things like that. And I think that is reflected in my score. But I think from an in-ring point of view, this really did deliver. I mean, this really did deliver. And then, of course, you just get the cherry on top, one of the best matches of the year, followed by, I think, the best women's cash-in WWE history. And obviously, there's not loads to choose from, but I think that's the best I've seen. I think I wasn't expecting it. It was at the right time. It was the cherry on top of what it was the cherry on top on a show that needed a moment like that. This show really needed a shock, a surprise, a talking point, and the cash in was that. So yeah, really good. I said during the watch along, when it comes to Rhea and Iyo, the kind of criticisms that I had for it as I was watching it live was that it felt like it was going a little bit long. And I'm not surprised to find out that it actually went 26 minutes. And word on the street is that's the longest women's match that to not have like a stipulation. And it felt it as well. I felt that it was going quite long. But then also we kind of left the ring and did some stuff in the crowd, and I didn't really feel like that was necessary. I didn't really feel like that was going to make this match better. And there were some nice moments. I mean, that crossbody by Iyo on the outside was fantastic, but I could have done without it. I mean, what they were doing in the ring around the ringside area was more than enough, you know? So these little bits, I was like, I don't know if I needed that outside the ring. I don't know if I needed it to go this long. And then, of course, you realise that all of that wore the women down, you know? They were running on empty because the match had gone so long, because of all the stuff they'd done outside the ring. And it's exactly those reasons that mean the cash-in is the right thing to do by Naomi. I actually thought she would have cashed in on Jade's, or, you know, the Jade match, Tiffany Jade at SummerSlam. Hence why, really wasn't expecting here. Hence why it was the perfect time to do it, because it caught so many of us off guard. So yeah, there we go. I want to get to your comments as quickly as possible. I'm going to go 8.5, 8.75, somewhere around that. It would be 8.5 at the lowest, right? 8.75, around that sort of ballpark. Really enjoyed it. Golly said Evolution was solid, but I wish they gave the women more time to shine. I mean, they had over 3 hours, buds. They had over 3 hours. I think they had enough time to shine. Carla wasn't really feeling it. Wow. Said, meh. The Outsiders says, pretty good show. Brady said, best PLE of the year. All of the matches were fantastic. None were bad. My favourite was the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships match. Alexa and Charlotte were the stars of the match. They didn't get the win tonight, but I've got a feeling this isn't the end for the chase of tag gold. Yeah, they were great. They really were. And that reaction that Charlotte got, I thought was fantastic. It was really nice to hear Charlotte getting a little bit of respect. Yeah, I really like that. Brendan said Brown's rookie Judkins arrested on battery. Don't know, buds. If it's not wrestling right now, it doesn't exist. Carl said, awesome. Show of the year. One of the best in recent memory. All matches were great. Main event was fire. Was certain that Rhea was going to win, so I was prepared to be angry, but Iyo gave me some hope as it went on, and that cash-in was fire. Happy for Naomi, just wish it wasn't on Iyo. Kid said Evolution cooked. I can't wait for Evolution 3. Rhea versus Iyo was match of the night. HLB said greatest WWE pay-per-view PLE of the year so far. Every woman killed it. Main event was perfect. I am so excited to see what Naomi does with the title. Gio the Theo said, I'm going to explain through the wise words of Sheamus. Banger after banger after banger after banger. We get it. Craig said, absolutely phenomenal show. 9.5. Taker 1990 said, Evolution was 10 out of 10. Did not expect Blake's heel turn this soon. Did not expect Naomi's cash in. Every woman performed extremely well. They proved again that they deserve to be in WWE. Taker 1990, shout out to you. Kiki scored it 5 out of 5, and Draco said absolutely incredible. Let's go, Naomi. So deserved. Proceed with caution. Paquera said by far WWE's best PLE of 2025. Every match delivered, and that main event was absolute fire and one for the history books. This is wrestling. 100 out of 10. Las Vegas Matt said, yeah, I'm going to keep this real simple. If Triple H doesn't make this a yearly event, then he shouldn't be in charge of creative at all. Everything was so good. Every match was great. I wish I could have had a winner out of Iyo Rhea. That match was everything. So it was 9 out of 10 for me, said Las Vegas Matt. David said, absolutely the best PLE of 2025. Every match was great, had its own moments. It amazes me how creative can literally pull a complete 360 and give us this quality of a PLE. There's no excuses now. 9 out of 10. I'm sad we didn't get any surprise returns, though. No, nonetheless, cinema. Be Serious said, despite having a lackluster 2-week build, the show was incredible. The women really stepped it up for this and put on a banger show from top to bottom. Iyo versus Rhea, instant classic. Naomi with the cash-in, very much unexpected and definitely deserved. Dare I say, best PLE of the year. You dare, sir. You dare. Because honestly, you're not alone. Like, it is a message that's coming across. Shaquem, what's this? Thank you. Raymond said, Daze, so I thought WWE Evolution was just amazing to watch. Like, every match was so entertaining, and I really enjoyed everything about it. And overall, I will have to rate WWE Evolution a very solid 9.25. Shout out to you. See you for Monday Night Raw. I have one question, though, Daze. Would you want to keep Blake Monroe as a face or a heel? Because I didn't understand why she's a heel. I liked her as a face. What are your thoughts? To be honest, she's only just arrived. So I think that in AEW she was a heel. And she worked really well in AEW as a heel, going up against Toni Storm. I think, to be honest, as a face, I was a little worried that she was going to be kind of like Barbie, glamour, cutesy, a little bit one-dimensional, a little bit, too similar to Tiffany Stratton. At least with her being a heel, we can sort of give her a bit of an edge. And I'm very interested to see what this is going to do to her presentation, How is this going to change her relationship with the fans? How is this going to change her vignettes? I don't think it changes like the little animated character. But what about those kind of vignettes where she was like, glamoring up and, going off to spas and all this? Like, does it change that sort of stuff? So I actually think this is quite interesting. I'm interested to see what this does to her presentation. I think in regards to like, is she work better as a face or a heel? I don't know enough about her, to be honest. So I really don't know. I mean, she only had her first match yesterday in WWE, and I think she would have worked fine as a face. But I know she works great as a heel from what I saw over in AEW. So honestly, no concerns. What would I have done? Probably heel. I probably would have brought her in heel because I know she can do that. So probably I would have done that for a little bit, got her up and running, and then maybe looked to have tried her as face to see if that works as well. So probably not too dissimilar to this. Just maybe I wouldn't have done the little couple of weeks of face first, But yeah, I'm down for seeing, like, try both. Let's see. Can she do both? Maybe she can. Matthew said, Evolution 2 surpassed Saturday night's main event and All In last night. And the no doubt match of the night is Rhea Iyo. The cash-in is great, and I can see Jacy Jayne somehow winning the TNA Knockouts Championship and retaining her championship next week. Really? You think Jacy could get past Masha? I'm really tempted to do this show now. It's one thing to have like NXT talent on the show. It's something completely different for a championship, an NXT championship, to be defended. And honestly, I think that championship is at risk as well. So Masha could really pick it up. So yeah, I'm quite tempted to do that on Sunday. Callum said, moments like tonight is why I love being a professional wrestling fan. Every match delivered for me. The women did amazing tonight. Naomi cashing in was amazing. Evolution gets a 9 out of 10 for me, and Naomi's cash in 10 out of 10. WrestleCast TV said it's one of the greatest PLEs I've seen in a long time. 10 out of 10. Blake02 said 10 out of 10. That's all that needs to be said. Uncle Revel said the triple threat opened as an all-time for me. Rhea, Iyo, Naomi closed it as an all-time. The four-way was great, but the other 3 matches were good. I would have liked to have seen Nikki Cross appear and chase Candice out, so she had some kind of spot, but I'm just nitpicking. So 8.25. I think that's such a fair review. I think that's really fair, honestly. So for you, the Tiffany, Trish, Jordynne, Jacy, and the four-way was great. So the Naomi, Jade, Tiffany, Trish, Jordynne, Jacy, you just had those at a good level. I don't think that's unfair, to be honest. The community scored those great 51, which is actually quite close to goods. We always find that if it does just click over from great, it tends to be kind of around the 50% mark. So it's actually really close. That's right on the line. So Jordynne, Jacy, really close to being a good rated match. Same actually with Tiffany and Trish. That was great 56. The one that had a little bit more breathing room, to be honest, was Naomi, Jade. That had a little more breathing room. That was great 65. And there was some really good spots in that, actually. Really good spots. So, yeah, I think that's very, very fair, Uncle Revel. Very fair. Bizarro Babyface said, I think everyone is pretending the show was great because that's what PC culture demands. Oh, what's this?
I made it to Evolution, and the first match is Lyra, Valkyria, and Bayley, and Becky Lynch. So, want to show you guys something. Empty seats there. Empty seats over there. These upper level seats are topped off again. And I saw a few more empty seats on this side of the arena too. You got some over there. I made it to Evolution. And the first match.
Well, the only thing I'm going to say about that is we actually know the seats situation. So the arena can hold 15,000, and they had it set up for about 8,500 or so. Actually, they managed to hit that number in the end. So for what it was set up for, they managed to sell 8,500 tickets, which is okay. That's not bad. I would ideally have loved it to have been 12, 13. The arena can hold 15,000. But actually, a few days ago, it was bobbing around 6.6, I think, 6,600. And that was disappointing. I mean, what I would say is, obviously, you sell tickets based on the build, and there really just has not been a very good build for this. I mean, we can be very critical of the build because this show deserved a much better build, and I think if it had a much better build, and maybe if there weren't as many other shows around it, right, because it has been a period of show week off, show week off, show. I mean, it really is like a WWE show every other week, what with the Saturday night main events that we've had recently as well. And obviously going to Saudi for Night of Champions and Money in the Bank as well. Like, there's been a lot of shows recently. So the actual amount of time we've had to build to this show has not been much. I mean, the build has been pathetic. And so, yeah, sadly, ticket sales just not there. But that doesn't really impact the show quality. Like, that doesn't really have any bearing on how good this show actually was, because the crowd that were in attendance, Bubba Matt included, were actually really, really vocal. Were actually really, really good. Like, this was a really loud crowd. And when you think that this was actually a crowd, that venue was actually just over half full, it makes it even more impressive, actually. Because it sounds like that crowd was really full. So I don't know. I don't quite get this. I don't quite get this criticism, to be honest. I sort of feel like the empty seats are a reflection of the build more so than a reflection of the quality of the show. And I think the quality of the show was fantastic. So, and I don't think people are pretending or like feeling like they're forced. So, don't know. Interesting comment, though, if that's a genuine comment and it's not just from like a bitter AEW fan, like, because we know tribalism exists. I would like to think that's a genuine comment, but I can assure you, as someone that really, really enjoyed this show, there's no pretending going on. John said, it's the best show since I came back to watching wrestling in 2023. I didn't want to like it going in, but I ended up loving it. So 9.5, says John. Luna says, Rhea versus Iyo as main event is an instant classic. Johnny said, every match delivered. We better get Evolution 3 next year itself. We'll give this one a 8. Oh, hello. 8.5. Casey said, best PLE of the weekend and the best PLE of the year so far. Each woman in every match killed it. Big congratulations to Naomi on her successful cash-in. This needs to definitely be a yearly event. Alex said, this is a solid 4.25 for me. Apart from little misses here and there, the show was flawless. All booking decisions made sense to me. Applause to the women. If only there was a proper build-up to some matches, this would have made my rating go higher. I'm guessing that's out of 5. Parker, Tiffy Time said, really enjoyed the show. We should have it every year. And Tiffany won, of course. I enjoyed every match. What are your thoughts? I feel like I've shared them, but I agree. I thought every match delivered. Nando said, amazing with a perfect main event to top it. Love that Naomi was making it so obvious that Tiffany was the target, and the fact Jade won Queen of the Ring really made me think that as well for SummerSlam. I was not expecting a successful cash-in on Iyo at all. Same. I thought she would be successful with the cash-in, but not tonight. I did not predict cash-in tonight, and I did not predict that it would actually be on here. Completely same boat. Chanel said, perfection, 10 out of 10. Shakeem is asking for people to call them. Chris said, Daze was so sports entertained. Every match was a banger. 8.25. We got the Blake turn that we knew was coming. Then during a classic, to have Naomi come down and cash in for the win, it could be recency bias, but that was, at least to me, the best cash-in ever. Thoughts? Completely agree. I think it is the best cash-in, women's cash-in ever. I don't know that it's the best cash-in out of the men and women, but in fact, no, I still think Dolph is my favourite. And a lot of people will say Seth at WrestleMania, the heist of the century. But I think in regards to the women, it's the best. John Elite said, I thought Naomi was going to cash in at SummerSlam. With Naomi cashing in tonight, does she take that title to SmackDown or move to Raw now? I expected Blake's heel turn tonight, but not during the match and screwing over Jordynne. I wonder who Stephanie is going to challenge in Paris. Going to have to wait to find out, aren't we? Hopefully we get some answers on Raw. Dylan said, amazing show. Every match was a banger and so good. And the main event should definitely be in discussion for women's match of the year. My favourite girls cash in, and I enjoyed watching Evolution and also watching the stream. 8.5 show for me. Dylan, thank you, my friends. And I'm really pleased to hear that you enjoyed the show. Opula's Travels said, my rantings. I tried to keep it short. What is this? Let's go here. Becky, Bayley, Lyra, 4.4. Jacy, Jordynne, 3. The tag match, Charlotte being cheered, 3.5. Tiffany, Trish, 3. Jordynne, Jade, Naomi, 2.9. The Battle Royal was Battle Royal was 2.8, and Iyo, Rhea, 3.8. So there we go. Do we have an overall show one? No? Just individual matches. Okay. Opula, thank you. Nishi said, this is PLE of the year. It had 2 match of the year contenders in a women's triple threat and Iyo Rhea. In fact, Iyo Rhea would go down as one of the best matches of the century. I'm happy for Naomi as well, so 10 out of 10. J Omega said Lyra, Bayley, Becky 7.5, Jordynne, Jacy 7, the tag match 6.5, Tiffany, Trish 5, Jade, Bianca 6.5, Battle Royal 5, Iyo, Rhea 9.5, so overall 8.5. All Game 17 said Evolution was awesome. It's better than the first one and better than Saturday night's main event and Great American Bash. I enjoyed it. Great for me. I'm happy for Naomi, and I'm glad that WWE didn't fumble the ball. 8.7 Chelexa storyline I'm down for. Rhea, Iyo, run it back. Triple H, book it for SummerSlam. Wrestling fans since day one said 8 out of 10. Better than Saturday night's main event. Daze, do you think this is the best PLE of the year so far? Have a good night. See you for Monday Night Raw. I don't know that it is the best. I would have to go back and have a look at how I rated. I think Elimination Chamber was maybe the front runner so far. I think it was that. I think that this is right in the conversation. Yes. I mean, for me to get as high as 8.5, 8.75, I mean, I'm basically snuggling up to a 9. And when do you get that out of me? You just don't. I mean, for me to go into the 8s is like flipping, do you know what I mean? Once in a blue moon. I mean, this year, my scores have been 6.5, 6.75, around that sort of ballpark. And actually, my 6.5 yesterday for Saturday night's main event on Saturday, I really, in retrospect, feel like that was quite kind. There's a lot of you that were a lot lower than that. So, yeah, I think, for this show now to come through and be that high, it's got to be in the running. It's got to be in the running. Yeah. Kelly the Wise Lady said, wow, just wow. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, maybe because I just wasn't in the mood for wrestling, but that changed real quick. I so enjoyed this PLE. It's been one of the best PLEs they've put out in a while. My girl won the Battle Royal. Naomi cashes in and wins the Women's World Championship. Becky retained. It was just an amazing show. So 8.5 points off for Jade winning. Sorry I missed the stream, but I will be back soon. Kelly, no worries. Austin said, best WWE PLE of 2025, even over WrestleMania. Definitely. Opening match was amazing. Blake is a heel like she should be. Tiffany versus Trish was better than expected, and the main event delivered. Really loved the cash-in. I didn't expect it. Naomi deserves it. Best female cash-in after Tiffany, 8.5, says Austin. Jay said it was the best PLE of the year by far. Opener to closer was perfect. Naomi and Jade was brutal. Bayley, Becky, Lyra had some awesome chemistry. All the legends in the crowd. Great tag 4-way. And the main event was the cherry on top. Awesome match. Naomi was a perfect plot twist, says Jay Warrior. Jacy said, I really enjoyed it. I thought parts of the matches got a bit chaotic, but it was overall great. Not thrilled there was no surprises and no previous talent return. Am I the only one that thinks Rhea had an off night? Love that Naomi was cashing in. There's so many positives. Giving it an 8 out of 10. Oh, Jacy, I'd love to dig into your Rhea off night comment. I would love to dig into that. What makes you think she had an off night? Was there certain moments or moves that didn't seem to kind of be executed that smoothly? Or did she seem a little bit lost? Was her pace off? Or I don't know. I mean, I feel like the early stages, there was like a real feeling out process. I mean, kind of felt after the first few minutes this was going to go some time. I think during the watch along I made a comment, they're going to give this time. And I think I said something like, that makes sense. It is the main event. But in my mind, what I was thinking was they're going to give this time because we're going through quite a lengthy feeling out process here. I liked some of the moments, like where Rhea's kind of mocking Iyo. I thought that was quite fun. And yeah, I mean, there's I don't know, there's a lot to that match. It's a long match, to be honest. It clocks in at 26 minutes, which is, do you know what I mean? That's quite a lot for, they're saying the longest women's match that's not had a stipulation. You know, for a women's match that's not like a Hell in a Cell or a ladder match or something like that, this was the longest women's match in WWE history. I'm not sure if that's true. It's just kind of what's doing the rounds on social media, but I could believe it. But yeah, I'd love to dig into that Rhea off night comment. I wonder what it is that you've seen that's made you feel that way. I wasn't sure at first because of the feeling out process, but it really started going and it really grabbed me. And I think the match is amazing. If that's Rhea on an off night, wow. But yeah, I'd love to dig into that. That's interesting. Make sure you're on a stream so I can ask you about it. FYI said Evolution was definitely the best show this weekend for sure. Solid matches throughout. Stephanie, dub. Iyo, Rhea put on a phenomenal match. Naomi cashing in surprised me, and it kind of took away from the crazy match, but I hope she gets a good run. So 8 out of 10. Dean said, I loved Evolution. The last match was really good. Loved the cash-in, so she deserved it. I really thought we might have got a return of Paige or AJ Lee. Nice to see the legendary women. Was not expecting Blake Monroe to turn on Jordynne. Love the stream, though. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, buds. Tatum was disrespected. She was, actually. First eliminated. But happy for Stephanie. Naomi was a good turn. Makes up for Jade winning. Would have rather had Alexa win tag match. Blake turning was obvious after the rumours. Trish, Tiff match was throwaway. Match of the night, Rhea, Iyo for sure. So a 9, said T-Lil. Spiller said, amazing show. The women gave it their all. To me, all the matches delivered. Rhea, Iyo, you could definitely have in conversation for an all-time match. And the cash-in was a shocking surprise. I didn't even realise being a possibility. Overall, I gave it 10 out of 10. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, buds. Tony said, incredible. That is all. Tom said 8, definitely the best WWE show of the weekend. My opinion is that Jade and Lash should switch places on the roster. Jade really needs more work. The IC match was a banger. Trish, Tiffy hit all the right spots. Tag, title and battle royal were fun. Wow, what a finale. Angie said it was incredible. I'm so happy for Naomi. She has worked so hard for the last 10 plus years, and to say I was in tears would be an understatement. Hoping that this won't be the last Evolution for the next 7 years, because the women's division is so strong and they all deserve it. Uncle Howdy Dreads said, you're telling me no Nikki Cross? 0 out of 10. Edward said all matches banged. Hopefully WWE will schedule this as an annual event just before SummerSlam. Overall, I give the event 9 out of 10, with the main event 10 out of 10. Smile Saint said the ladies did absolutely amazing. Was not a big fan of the title match set up with the nostalgia match. Was not a big fan of the title match set up with the nostalgia match. What's that mean? I love... is that the Tiffy Trish thing? I love them like everyone, but like I said, just like Goldberg, they'll draw regardless. Stop insulting our intelligence and wasting title matches on them. Right, okay, it is Trish. So Trish coming back and getting a title match when really it was a nostalgia match. I think that's what we're saying. Larry said, Daze, this show was wow. Just wow. 925. Wyndham is Eternal said, awesome PLE from start to finish. I even enjoyed the matches I thought would be a little lackluster. Jayne, Grace, Tiffany, Trish. Crowd was great as well. Best US crowd in a long time. I agree with that. I thought they were really good. Clay said, what a show. I loved it. I want a picture of Jackie Redmond. Vetrick said 10 out of 10, one of, if not the best PLE all year. Harlan said, who says shows need to be 2 hours? Anna said, best pay-per-view of the year so far. And yes, I'm definitely including Mania. Great matches. Ladies were phenomenal. It just shows the depth of talent on the roster. 8 out of 10. Also, Viva la Primera. Best PLE of the year so far, 10 out of 10, says Little Bit of a Fan. Armando said, let's take a moment and just give all these women the flowers they deserve. The crowd delivered. The women delivered. And it was, in my opinion, the best PLE of the year from start to finish. Main event a classic. And that cash-in was the icing on the cake. 10 out of 10. Beatron said, absolutely killed it. Jade said, monorail. What's it called? Fans quitting. Once again, fans walk out on autopilot. Some of these bots. What does this mean? There's no reports of fans walking out. What's that mean? Jade Simpson. Thank you. Real John said, absolutely loved it. PLE of the year. Didn't see Naomi cashing in, but it was done so well. Elite Pro Wrestling Forum said, always great to see the legends. IC title was an instant classic. Blake will pay for her actions. Great four-way match. Trish, Tiff turned out great. Jade, Naomi killed it. Great battle royal and main event. 8 out of 10 for me. Shout out to you, Daze. Let's roll with Raw tomorrow. Let's go. Dave said Naomi comes down with a ref, but cashed in with another ref. So it should have been a failed cash-in as it was the wrong ref. Doesn't matter what ref it is. Does it as long as it's an official, as long as it's a ref. She can bring down 50 refs if she wants, as long as there's an official ref there to count it. Don't matter. Stuart said the wrestling was amazing, but I don't think it was about that. I think it was more about how far we've all come to appreciate what the female wrestlers bring each and every week. It needs to be a permanent PLE from now on. They can all be very proud of themselves, says Stuart. Stuart, shout out to you. Steve said best PLE of the year by far. My gosh. We got the word gosh. That was amazing. Steve, shout out to you, buds. Ash said, hope I'm not too late to respond, but I was so happy with this PLE and just showcasing all the amazing women that are on the roster, whether it's the girls from Raw, NXT, or SmackDown. They are all insanely talented. My favorite match was Iyo and Rhea match. 10 out of 10. Best PLE of the year. Corey said, I think it was overall a great show. Did not have high expectations going in, but was pleasantly surprised. Kat said, hi Daze. Hi Kat. I absolutely loved it. Every match was solid. And the women of WWE definitely showed out tonight. Congrats to Naomi. She definitely deserves it. But let's not forget my girl Jade still beat her. Lol. Adrian said, Daze, I thought Evo was decent. Nothing over the top special. One title change, and that's the one that ruins the show and probably one of the best matches of the year. No interest in Naomi as champion. Rest of the matches were okay. Not the most memorable. So 7. Wow. I feel like that's a really honest review, because there's detail there as to how we got to that score. I respect that. Adrian, shout out to you, buds. It's what we asked for. We want honesty. And honestly, you know, I can understand how Rhea Iyo was banging and people are like, oh my God, which way is it going to go? And then all of a sudden there's a cash in which sort of like ruins it, if you will. I think my perspective is those two had gone and thrown everything at each other. And I think I made a comment during the watch along. I wouldn't be sad if for some reason we reach a time limit draw, you know? I think it might be an hour to get to a time limit draw, but let's say it's half an hour, right? We were at 26 minutes. Had that gone another 4 minutes and then the bell sounded because we'd run out of time, you know? Or with a minute to go, like Alicia Taylor says, we've got 1 minute until we reach our time limit. Like had there been something like that and it had ended that way, I actually would not have been down on that as a result, because I think the story of this match is that those two had taken everything out of each other. They had thrown their best shots at each other, their best moves at each other, and they'd kicked out. And they'd fought all around the arena, and they are equals. And so I think for me, it's not ruined that we didn't get a winner out of Rhea Iyo. It's actually enhanced by the fact that we avoided a draw, right? or get into a point where it's like a no contest or whatever, because I don't know that one would have got the win over the other. They absolutely may have done. I feel like they had opportunity within 26 minutes to try and, secure that victory. Neither was able to do it. They left the door open. Down comes Naomi for a shock cash in and to steal the limelight, steal the headlines. And for me, that's a great finish for me. So I think I'm looking at it a slightly different way, that I don't feel like their amazing battle, their amazing work was ruined. What their amazing battle and their amazing work did was set the table for Naomi to capitalize on it. So it's all part of the same dance, Just brilliant. I love it, yeah. I can only echo what people have been saying, but it's a shame that you feel that it did ruin it, But I love this comment. I love this comment because that's what we want. We want different opinions. It is just a bit boring if we're all just saying the same thing, So, and I really feel like because of the detail there, I'm getting honesty. So, Adrian, honestly, respect to you. But in fact, I'm going to like your comment. I've even left a like, and I've not liked any of the others. Max Irish guy said, wow, just wow. And there we go. We are done. This video is clocked in at 40 odd minutes. There was a lot of comments and I really wanted to get through them all. So we did. So there we go. Thanks a lot for joining me. I'm going to go and rest my voice ready for Raw later. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.